Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. High above Lernerville Speedway. You're joined by Zach Newton and Alex Robinson. Alex, good to be back with you after last week at Fairbury. I'm plugging in the good mic. Give me just a second. Tell the folks about Lernerville, you dirty Pennsylvania boy, you.
Oh, now we got to criticize PA. Well, this is weird because this is like the one track in PA that doesn't have walls. And it's a track that's very, very interesting. Like, words cannot describe how slick this track actually gets in real life. As qualifying is underway, Clay Devin on the track. But this track, like, iRacing doesn't do it justice. Unless the track is like at 70-80% slick, because that's what that track looks like most of the time. There's Dustin Sizemore.
Dustin Sizemore taking time. Sorry to cut you off there, Alex. Yeah, it reminds me a lot of Brownstown Speedway in Indiana. 3/4 of the way around, there's no walls. There's technically a backstretch wall at Brownstown, but it sits a long way off the track. But it's slightly bigger. They build this as a 4/10 mile, and it's a little bigger than Brownstown, but still very similar. Is qualifying well underway in this one. Adam Hommerding currently at the top of the timesheet. We'll see if that holds on. Dustin Sizemore in second. There is Blake Majulis, Tia Moppert's boyfriend, in the 127 entry, and we have received word he did not have power at his house, so he is on Tia Moppert's sim rig, doing his best to try to pick up some points tonight. We will see where he lands on the timesheet as soon as I can get the little overlay out of the way there. I don't see him currently. He may not have taken may not have put a lap down just yet, Alex.
As Evan C, you see, is now quick time, and there's Majulis now second quick, as he's going to have to get at least a 1/10 of a second there, as that might be his only lap. Here's Dixon Slinger now, who has looked strong actually throughout this season, just hasn't put it all together to get a win. But, you know, anything can happen at this track.
Yeah, Lernerville has the potential to be chaotic. We've seen chaos here in the World of Thunder before. As again, you see Dixon Slinger taking time. He is a real-life modified driver, so that may explain exactly, or some of the success he's had in being familiar with these cars in real life. But like you said, hasn't put it all together quite yet. Here's Tyler LaPointe coming home 52nd quick, his first time out. A full server here in this one. We'll have 6 heats on tap for you tonight. Should be a really good show here in the Grace Productions UMP Modified Series. Again, Evan C. currently at the top of the timesheet by a pretty decent margin with a 15.460 currently quick time. Majulis, Hommerding, Fields, and Slinger, the rest of your top 5. As I believe we are just about to wrap up qualifying here. You see Dustin Sizemore back on track, already 7th quick. You're going to get in about a couple seconds of extra practice here in this one. But again, 5 seconds left of qualifying, and we get ready for 6 heat races. Should be a good show.
As you were saying, anything can happen. Well, for Pete's sakes, look who's 7th. He said he hates these modified. And Sizemore's 7th, so it shows right now anything can be possible here at Lernerville Speedway.
Absolutely. You are watching the Grace Productions UMP Modifieds on the World of Thunder Esports League on Ultimate Dirt TV. Evan C. quick time with a 15.460. Majulis, Hommerding, Fields, and Slinger, your top 5. Then Hall, Sizemore, Logan Rumsey, James Grace, and Bryson Banks, your top 10. You'll notice there are some big names missing. Dylan Wilson and Ryan Underwood serving suspensions this week, as are Ethan Toter, a whole heap of other drivers. You can see all of them in Discord. I didn't write them all down because I don't have that kind of time. We go to heat number 1. It's Evan C. in Victory Lane Racing's number 33, your quick time tonight on the pole. And outside of him, it's all his fault. Dustin Sizemore for Speed Inc. $1 Million Motorsports in the 11.
Starting third and 35, it'll be Jordan Gage. And outside of him will be the 31 of Mason Line.
Riley Emig in the 12 for Goon Squad Racing rolls off 5th. Outside of him in the 59, it's Trevor Mattingly.
Starting 7th will be DJ Steichleather. And outside of him in the 97 will be Ryder Cantillo.
Travis Creech in the 75 out of Ohio will line up on the inside of row number 5. And outside of him, it's Benny Easler in the 222. A fully Ohio row number 5 in this one. Should be a good show on tap for you tonight. These heat races are going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah, but, you know, knock on wood, knock on a big, big piece of wood, because hopefully it's nothing like what we saw in the fixed pro lates, because we had caution, more cautions in heat races. So hopefully we get some clean racing here in these UMPs.
Yeah. Unfettered chaos you saw in the DirtFan.com fixed pro late models that opened our broadcast this evening. We are having some trading paint issues. We will try to get those squared away for you as quickly as we can. We will do our best to keep you aware of who is where. As you can see, Dustin Sizemore in the 11 is not in 4th. He is, in fact, starting on the outside pole. So once again, we are working on it. May have it handled here. Not quite, I don't think, unless Evan C. has changed wraps again. We're getting closer. We'll see if we can get it sorted out. Once again, we'll keep an eye on things as we are underway. Heat number 1 is green, and Evan C. off like a rocket in that VLR number 33 entry out in front. Dustin Sizemore going to hold on to second. Lean and Gage battle down the back straightaway. They're 3 wide for the runner-up spot as they enter turn 3, and they sort it out, and at the line, give it to Sizemore. Lap 1, Evan C. leads.
As we see, we're still trying to get some, unless Sizemore changed his colors, which, I mean, I really like that 22 paint scheme there, as he's getting some contact with Jordan Gage, as Sizemore still holds on to that second spot, as Gage and Line are still battling it out. Riley Emig is in that 5th spot right now, but out in front, it is Evan C.
Yeah, Sizemore threw him a little bit of that Tennessee bumper, a little right rear there in turn 3 and 4 to take second spot. And now Gage and Leaner side by side. Emeg on the outside looking in. Top 3, I believe, transfer out of this heat race. Again, 4 laps to go. We're getting closer to getting trading paint sorted out. It's all Evan C. by himself out in front. He's got that middle line working around Lernerville. That does seem to be the fastest line around the racetrack right now. The bottom is the move in 1 and 2, Alex, but it's all Evan C. out in front in that 33 machine.
Oh, yeah, and Evan C. looks absolutely phenomenal at this track right now, running that midline as we're still trying to get these paint jobs sorted out here. But that middle line is going to come in handy tonight until that grip goes away. Then I can see him going to the top, but Evan C. right now out to a strong advantage over Dustin Sizemore. Dustin Sizemore is looking here. He is just a few laps, 2 laps to go. He is looking for his second feature appearance tonight, and I think he already might break his season record for appearances in a feature for him this season.
Absolutely. Sizemore looked very strong at the DirtFan.com. Pro Late Models picking up a heat race win, but out in front, it's going to be all Evan C. winning heat number 1. He was almost a 10th faster than the rest of the field in qualifying, and he has been substantially faster than that compared to the rest of this heat race field. He is the class of it. He will win. Dustin Sizemore second, Gage third, Lean and Emig the rest of your top 5. Your top 3 go on to the big show. Everybody else is going to have to work their way through alphabet soup coming up in just a little while here. And we go to your official results now, and it is Evan C., your winner once again. I don't think there's any doubt about that, by almost 1.3 seconds over Sizemore. Gage will transfer as well. The rest to Alphabet Soup, Alex. And Alphabet Soup here gets a whole bunch of just rowdy. With no wall, you're going to see a lot of bumping all the way through those fields as we line up heat number 2.
Starting on the pole, the 127 of Blake Majulis. And outside of him will be the 30 of Logan Rumsey.
Zach Rounds in the 47 out of the Great White North of Michigan starts in 3rd. Dylan Thomas in the 03 out of Texas will start 4th.
Jennifer Hans will start 5th in the 57, and outside of her will be Michael Bangen.
Bill Miller for Throttle Down Motorsports in the 34 starts 7 outside of him. Jaden Wolf in the 7 out of Pennsylvania.
9th will be Cole Patrick in the 20, and rounding out the field will be Brody or Vetez. I'm going to butcher that name, I'm sorry. And the 91 will round out the field.
It's fine. We forgive you, Alex. You know, words are hard. It's okay. Oh, no. All right, so our producer, Brett Wheeler, first mention of him tonight. You will hear us mention him periodically. He is in our ears. You cannot hear him on the broadcast, and that is fortunate because he is every Australian stereotype you can possibly imagine. And so here we go, heat number 2, lining up. This should be the final pace lap. Pace truck will roll off over the hill in turn 3, and then we will turn these dirt car modifieds loose off of turn 4. The proper UMP dirt car modifieds, not the weird things they run up north. These are modifieds the way God intended them. And
whoa.
It is Blake Majulis, Logan Rumsey to his outside. Trading paint still a challenge. That is Blake Majulis on the pole, we promise, and you can tell by the start because he is 2 car lengths ahead at the drop of the green flag a magician on starts here on iRacing, and it is Blake Majulis out in front. Logan Rumsey in the runner-up spot. Zach Rounds in the final transfer spot right now. They work lap number 1. It's going to be a quick lap number 1. Majulis setting a breakneck pace as we begin to work into the meat of heat number 2.
Did you just bash my modifieds up here?
I did, and I will continue to.
Wow, hurtful. But Logan Rumsey in that second spot with Zach Rounds. But again, Blake Majulis looks phenomenal as well in his heat race so far. As that middle to bottom line is really fast. But you see there, Logan Rumsey getting knocked back to third after that. Zach Rounds now into second. But I'm just never going to forgive you now. That's a little... Man.
That's fine. You can deal with your emotions as we work past halfway in this heat race this time by as Blake Majulis comfortably out in front. All eyes currently on Zach Rounds, a relative newcomer, I believe, to the World of Thunder. First time I remember seeing his name, and he is holding down a runner-up spot over Logan Rumsey of Logan Rumsey Esports fame. Give Rounds all the credit in the world. He's starting to pull away from Rumsey, just putting a little gap on him. Rumsey's got a long way back to 4th place. Dylan Thomas, Jennifer Hansen, the 11 in 5th. We lose Thomas for just a second. Keep an eye on those mechanical issues as we continue to work here now. Lap number 6 in progress.
Yeah, as you see, I think it might be Jaden Wolf there. I don't know. It might be one of Jennifer Hans, but Jennifer Hans there in the 31, and behind her is Michael Bangan in what seems to be a Logan Rumsey Esports paint there. As we see there, some contact, we're getting close here, but the white flag is out. Majulis still out in front. Rumsey in third, but has some company as they are battling it out for that third transfer spot. It looks like that might have been Dylan Thomas getting the short end of the stick on that one, but Blake Majulis has ran away with it, and he takes home heat race number 2. Rounds in second, Rumsey in third, and there's some melee
at the end. You may have to pull, I believe, Logan Rumsey into the big red trailer there, the World of Thunder offices, race control back in the pit area, because there was some very heavy contact there. Well, that the decision, we say it's above our pay grade as we go to your official results for Heat 2. It is Majulis, Rounds, and Rumsey to the show. Hans, Wolf, Thomas, Miller, Bengen, Patrick, and Oravets will head to Alphabet Soup again coming up at the end of these heat races. But Blake Majulis, despite being on his girlfriend Tia Moppert's sim rig, looking very strong in that heat race. We will see, though. He was almost a 10th off of Evan C. in qualifying. Can he make up the difference? We're going to send it to a 30-second break real quick. We'll be right back with your lineup for Heat 3 in just a moment on Ultimate Dirt TV. Welcome back to Lernerville Speedway, Don Martin's Lernerville Speedway in Lernerville, Pennsylvania. I am Zach Newton, joined by Alex Robinson. We line up heat race number 3 on the pole. It's Adam Hommerding in the 42, and outside of him, for $1 Million Motorsports, the 269 of James Grace.
Starting third will be the 29 of Richie Yost, and outside of him will be Austin Hunter in the 8.
D1RT driver Clay Debin lines up 5th in the 84. Outside of him, Donnie Batiste starts 6th for the Mid-South Dirt Slingers in the 19.
7th will be Tom Dawson in the 67, and outside of him will be Bryson Rami in the 46.
It's going to be Tom Dawson in the 67 out of Pennsylvania. Outside of him, Bryson Rami in the 46. I think you just said that. Sorry, Alex. Clayton Wise lines up in the 50. Krebs Family Racing in 9th. Outside of him, Scott Norum out of Iowa in the 85. It's been a long day at our house.
Oh, I believe it.
So that is James Grace on the pole in the Justin Sizemore tribute paint. He's going to get a good start there. No, that's Adam Hommerding. Correction. The trading paints issue, we apologize for, doing our best to work around it. Adam Hommerding leads in the 42. James Grace runs in second. Yost currently holding down the final transfer spot, but Austin Hunter right there to the inside. We'll see if the inside line starts to pick up speed as this heat race burns on. We're in the midway point of these heat races, 3 of 6 in progress right now. And Hommerding, again, a name I'm not super familiar with, Alex. You may have more information than I do, with a very fast lap and is looking very strong in his heat races. He's put about a 4-car length lead on the rest of the field.
So actually, I'm in the same boat as you. I have rarely heard him. I might have seen him once or twice in some hosted and official races, but rarely have I seen him in UMP action, as he's sitting there in the top spot. Richie Yost, James Grace, and now Austin Hunter trying to throw his hat in the mix for one of those transfer spots. As you see, we're 3 wide there for a second. Some contact between Hunter and Yost. Yost going to go to the middle there as we're still almost 3 wide battling for that second spot, sorry.
Yeah, good battle here. Adam Hommerding loves to see it in his rearview mirror. Richie Yost has ripped the lip to the outside of everybody and moved into that runner-up spot. James Grace has dropped back just a little bit after that front row starting spot, not taking advantage of that opportunity. He's now on the outside looking in as Austin Hunter is going to move into third. They're still all chasing Hommerding and Yost, but Yost starts to open up a little bit of a lead down the back straightaway. They're 3 wide for the final transfer spot. Hunter's got it. Grace and Devin both banging on the door for it.
Clay Devin has looked really strong through this heat race, trying to get through. As got a little sideways there, it looked like, as James Grace is still in that 4th spot, as they're both still trying to get to Austin Hunter with the white flag in the air. We have 1 lap to go, and these guys are going to battle it out for this 3rd and final transfer spot. But out in front, it is Adam Hommerding, and he's looked like he's run away with this heat race.
Yeah, Hommerding going to win this one off of turn 4 by a country mile over Richie Yost. Yost going to come home comfortably in second. Austin Hunter is going to hold down that 3rd spot. Again, we apologize for the issues with trading paints. It is a little tougher to keep up with. We're doing our best here on the broadcast. It is your winner, Adam Hommerding, Richie Yost second. We go to our official results, and we will run those down for you. Austin Hunter, I believe, officially going to come home in 3rd place. A great run for him. Some relative unknowns there. I'm familiar with Richie Yost back from the R Factor days, and of course James Grace, a regular here on the World of Thunder, Clay Debin as well. But Adam Hommerding and Austin Hunter, 2 relative unknowns, going to be in the Grace Productions UMP Modifieds A main straight out of the heat race. The rest of those guys from 4th on down going to go to Alphabet Soup. Going to be a lot of fun coming up here in just a few more minutes. We've got 3 more heat races left for you, though, and on the pole this one, it is the 007 of Jacob Fields. Outside of him, it's Bryson Banks in the double aught.
Starting row number 2. On the inside, it'll be Dalton DeRoja, and outside of him will be Michael Blessing in the 1.
Stephen Calavoda in the 32 out of the Virginia is going to line up on the inside of row number 3. Outside of him in the 6, it is Bryson Daffern.
Starting 7th will be Stephen Turbeville in the 43, and outside of him will be Chris Cox from Death Dealer Motorsports.
Kentucky driver Bobby Mattingly in the 9th starting spot in the 3M, and outside of him, shotgun on the field. I don't know that he took time, or if he did, he was way down the timesheet. Hayden Cardwell in the 07, not a place we're used to seeing him. So you see the pace truck leading the field onto the track in this one. Should be an 8-lap heat race coming at you. Again, trading paints being difficult. We apologize for the challenges with that service. Makes our job a little harder, but we're going to try to do our best to keep you aware of the action on the racetrack. That is not Blake Majulis, Dustin Sizemore, and Clay Debin out in front of this one. That is, I believe, we'll pull our timing and scoring pylon up here on the left-hand side. You can follow that as we are. Jacob Fields is on the pole. Bryson Banks to his outside. Dalton DeRoja lining up 3rd in this one. So, again, an 8-lap heat race, number 4. Top 3 will transfer. Jacob Fields already a winner here at Lernerville tonight, winning the DirtFan.com fixed pro late model feature earlier in pretty convincing fashion. And we will have to see what he's got for the UMP Modifieds. A pretty solid UMP Modified driver, if memory serves, Alex.
Oh, yes. And, even if trading paints doesn't work out well, if he's still in the Majulis, it's not hard to tell him because they're both D1RT drivers. So you just have to look for the D1RT and you know where he is. But he's going to lead us here to the green flag with Bryson Banks to the outside of him. and he's going to go to that inside as most drivers are going. With Bryson Banks right behind him there, got a little loose on the exit, and look at the battle behind him there between Blessing and Daffrin, and now DeRoche is getting caught up in that battle as there's 3 cars in the back there you see all together. Are we going to stay green here as Jacob Fields is still out in front, as we're still green?
Looks like we are going to stay green. Jacob Fields is going to lead Bryson Banks and Dalton DeRoche down the back straightaway. DeRoche, you'll remember, started on the pole of a heat race in the DirtFan.com Fixed Pro Late Models and wound up in the D main, so he's going to look to try to better that result and hold on to a transfer spot here. But Bryson Daffrin is all over him. Michael Blessing is right there as well. That is Dalton DeRoche again in third place. It looks like Clay Debin. It is not. That is the 097 machine, and he is doing everything he can. But Daffrin's got to run to the high side. He's going to turn it hard down into one, a very sharp turn one. They are going to door bang just a little bit down the back straightaway. Can DeRoche keep it on the berm? He can, and they battle as they work through 3 and 4.
As this battle for third is heating up, as Michael Blessing in that 5th spot, and he's catching up to these two as we're about to be 3 wide almost for that 3rd spot between Daffrin, DeRoche, and Blessing. As Blessing is going to that inside, there's some contact between DeRoche and Daffrin, as DeRoche kept it going and got right back underneath him. But here we go, 3-car battle for that transfer spot.
Yeah, DeRoche throws a short slider, runs out of talent, and parks it on the nose of Daffrin. Daffrin holds on, manages to work around him down the front straightaway after getting back on the loud pedal off of turn 4, and he is going to hold on to that final transfer spot as we've got 2 to go. It's all Jacob Fields out in front, no shocker there. Bryson Banks in second. Bryson Daffrin now going to have to hold off a challenge from the 097 of Dalton DeRoche as they come to the white flag this time by
Jacob Fields. Look at that gap between him and Banks, but Banks doesn't really care. He's going to lock himself in a feature as long as he doesn't do anything stupid, but Daffrin still has DeRoche and Blessing behind him, but it's all Jacob Fields here as he wins heat race number 4.
Absolutely. Jacob Fields, Bryson Banks, and Bryce. 2 Brysons in the top 3. You don't see that every day. Jacob Fields, Bryson Banks, Bryson Daffrin, unofficially your top 3. Very confusing result. Hayden Cardwell seems to be missing a step. He comes home in 9th. Normally a dominant driver in the UMP Modifieds and very good here at Lernerville, a topside dominant racetrack. We go to your official results. It is Fields, Banks, and Daffrin in the top 3. DeRoche, Blessing, Calavota, Cox, Turbeville, Cardwell, and Mattingly to Alphabet Soup. Cardwell a lap down involved in that altercation over there and may have pulled off after that accident in turn 3 and 4 as we line up heat number 5, Alex.
And starting on the pole of heat race number 5, it'll be Dixon Slinger in the 51, and outside of him will be the 25 of Hunter Parsons.
It's Preston Rigsby in the 195 machine for Need Speed Motorsports in 3rd. Outside of him, Baby Barry Hagen Sorensen in the 45 for Sorensen Racing, lining up in 4th.
Starting 5th will be Jeffrey Line, and outside of him will be the 11 of Dylan Gibbs.
Darren Literal in the 68 for HRE, going to line up in 7th. His HRE teammate Chase Hardy going to line up in the number, I believe, 49 machine. He'll start 8th.
Starting 9th will be Barbara Rigsby, and outside will be Dylan Petty in the number 5.
So it should be a good show here. Dixon Slinger and definitely has a pretty obvious advantage on the pole. He is a very strong driver in these UMP Modifieds. He also, I believe, won a fixed pro late model race earlier this year. So definitely broadening his horizons, but he definitely has the advantage of track position in this one. And I think the pole sitter has won every heat race so far. I don't see a reason for us to break chalk and expect any differently. There are some guys who have some potential a little farther back in this field, but they've got their work cut out for them. So 8 laps the distance, heat race 5 of 6 coming at you from Lernerville. It is the World of Thunder Esports League and the Grace Productions UMP Modified Series live on Ultimate Dirt TV. Alex Robinson, my broadcast partner, bring us to green.
As we got Dixon Slinger, Hunter Parsons on that front row. As Dixon Slinger going to get a good start off there, going to that bottom side, and he's going to go into turn 1 and 2 here as heat race number 5 is underway. He's going to go in the grass a little bit there. There's some contact between, I don't know what it was. There was just a little bit of a melee. Line and Rigsby got in a little bit of contact there, but they both keep it going. But Dixon Slinger's going to lead lap 1.
Yeah, a very physical driving style seems to be the soup du jour here at Lernerville this evening. Dixon Slinger leads by about 3 car lengths over Hunter Parsons. Hagen Sorensen has charged his way up towards the front. He's going to throw a big slider and move himself into second round Hunter Parsons, and he holds on to it as Parsons tries to cut back down the front straightaway. They drag into turn 1 and 2. It's all Dixon Slinger out front, but the best battle on the racetrack right now is Parsons and Sorensen for the bridesmaid spot. And give it to Parsons right now, but Sorensen going to try to power around him on the high side.
Well, if this contact is any indication of what this feature race is going to be like tonight, these guys better just be ready to keep their nose clean, because that might be the best way to win this race, as Dixon Slinger is looking to become the 5th heat race winner to start off the pole tonight. But here comes Sorensen to the outside of him, and Sorensen trying to get a good run here, but Slinger gets still a good run off the bottom. He's still out in front of this one, but here comes Sorensen. They're both going to go to that top side, both flirting with a little bit of danger there with those two going nose to tail. But here we go, Slinger and Sorensen still neck and neck there. You got Parsons and Rigsby now going at it for that 3rd and final transfer spot. But here comes Sorensen to the inside of Slinger, going to slide up. Clears the slider. Slinger going to go to the inside as they are still battling for the lead.
Boy, Sorensen is a real problem around the high side of this racetrack. Slinger going to drift up in front of him off of turn 2. Sorensen runs the veteran line with the cut down. He's going to go to the bottom in 3 and 4, slide up the racetrack. He might park it on his nose. He does not. Gets clear and gets the lead off of turn 4. They drag, but the momentum advantage that Sorensen is getting from the high side is undeniable. And we're going to have a drag race down the back straightaway. This one's going to be close at the line. Slinger to the inside. Does he throw the slider? He does not. He's going to make Sorensen beat him the old-fashioned way with a good run. And wow, very close unofficially. Dixon Slinger, your winner. Sorensen comes home in second. Rigsby in third. We will go to our official results. That one was really close, Alex. What a show from those two to keep that race clean, battled like they did, and by 14 thousandths of a second. It's Hagen Sorensen, your winner over Dixon Slinger. Preston Rigsby comes home in third. Parsons, Lean, Gibbs, Petty, Literal, Rigsby, and Hardy to the alphabet soup. I don't believe Chase Hardy made the grid. He's been having some internet issues through the evening, but Sorensen, your winner, officially by a nose. What a wild finish that was as we go to heat number 6.
That's 1 second. I'm getting an alert. I'm getting a service alert. 1 second. I can't see anything.
Dustin Hall on the pole for this one for heat number 6. CJ Howell to his outside in the 2. Brennan Weeks will line up in third. The Mid-South Dirt Slingers entry, I believe he's in a 22. Tyler LaPointe for Goon Squad Racing in the 23 to his outside in row number 2. It's Cade Loudy in the 126 in a 5th starting position. Outside of him, it's Mid-South Dirt Slingers driver Corey Austin in the 92. John Ruby Jr. in the 3 for Vanderpool Racing lines up the inside of row number 4. Outside of him, Trey Murphy in the 21 starts 8th. And your last row for your last heat race is Jesse Osborne in the 48 starting 9th, and Blake Bailey in the 58 starting 10th out of Illinois. Alex Robinson having some technical issues. He'll be back with us in just a moment. We bring you heat race number 6. First heat race that wasn't won by the pole sitter was last race by 14 thousandths of a second. Did Hagen Sorensen get that win? What a finish that was. And now we line up heat race number 6 with Dustin Hull on the pole in the 331 machine. And you got to like him to win this heat race, but anything behind him, I would say, is a crapshoot for the rest of those transfer spots. Brendan Weeks has been strong in the last few weeks. World of Thunder, we'll see if he can hold down one of those top 3 spots, because alphabet soup here at Lernerville is not something you want to get involved with. And we get an early start by Dustin Hall. He was early in turn 3 when he got on the loud pedal, and it seems like race control is going to let that stand. It's Dustin Hall leading as they come off of turn number 2 to work lap number 1. CJ Howell in second, Brendan Weeks in third, and Weeks is all over the bottom, trying to find some room underneath CJ Howell. He gets into the berm down there in the grass. The grass here at Lernerville, you can get a tire down in there, but it can get rough and it can get dangerous. And it jumped up and bit Brendan Weeks, and that's going to give Cade Loudy an opportunity to challenge to the outside. Weeks going to throw a little shoulder there into Loudy. Loudy holds on. Give third spot in the final transfer to Loudy right now as they work lap number 3. Dustin Hall still out in front, but he's got CJ Howell all over his hip pocket, trying to find some room again around the bottom of the racetrack. The top is still, I think, the line. If you can run right up there on the lip, you can see a little bit of moisture above the black slick spot, a lane down. And then turn 1 and 2 is really just a crapshoot. You can run anywhere you want. But the battle right now, Cade Loudy still holding off Brendan Weeks for that final transfer spot. Dustin Hall still your leader, but again, around the bottom of the racetrack is CJ Howell looking for some moisture, some grip, and some speed. Now he goes to the high side through turn 1 and 2. He is all over the place looking for answers, and right now he doesn't have any. Is Dustin Hall now about 3 car lengths out in front. He's going to run a short slider line through 3 and 4 slide up the racetrack right along the front stretch wall, the only wall here at Lernerville. It's still Dustin Hall leading, CJ Howell, Cade Loudy, Brendan Weeks, and John Ruby Jr., your top 5. A good run for Ruby Jr., currently on the outside looking in, but in a B main starting position right now. Cade Loudy, though, holding on to third as Howell is down all the way on the berm here in Lernerville, Pennsylvania. Again, it's Sarver, Pennsylvania, excuse me, and Don Martin's Lernerville Speedway, Ultimate Dirt TV. And it is Dustin Hall. We've got a battle here now as John Ruby Jr., Brendan Weeks, and still chasing Cade Loudy. The white flag is out for Dustin Hall. I don't think CJ Howell's going to have time to get there, but it could be close. He could throw a big slider here. He's got the potential. It looks like Hall going to run the bottom and take the slider line away. CJ Howell got a little loose, but holds on. He's got second. Cade Loudy in the big show. Weeks and John Ruby Jr. battle, unofficially given to Weeks. Ruby Jr. comes home in 5th. We will go to your official results in just a moment. Just waiting on iRacing. It's a lot of talking when you got to do that by yourself. Really a lot of work you got to do. It's almost like doing a regular race at Fairbury with somebody else. And there's our official results. It is Dustin Hall, CJ Howell, and Cade Loudy to the big show in the Grace Productions UMP Modifieds. Weeks, Ruby Jr., Murphy, Austin, LaPointe, Osborne, and Bailey to Alphabet Soup. Bailey, the only car a lap down in that heat race. As we get ready to start Alphabet Soup right now with your D main, it's going to be Clayton Wise for Krebs Family Racing on the pole with Steven Turbeville to his outside. Row number 2 is Darren Literal in the 68 for HRE. Outside of him, Tyler LaPointe. Alex, are you back?
I'm back.
Oh, boy.
Starting 5th will be Travis Creech, and outside will be Cole Patrick in the 20.
Scott Norum out of Iowa going to line up 7th to his outside. Keep an eye on this driver. It's the 07 of Hayden Cardwell starting 8th.
Starting 9th in the 28, it'll be Barbara Brigsby, and outside will be Jesse Osborne in the 48.
Benji Easler in the 222 going to line up in 11th. Outside of him, it's Brody Orovets out of Pennsylvania in the 91.
Starting 13th will be Bryson Rami in the 46. Outside will be the 22 of Bobby Mattingly.
If he's able to grid, starting 15th will be Chase Hardy in the 49, the Winchester Wildman out of Winchester, Virginia. Outside of him, Blake Bailey in the 58 out of Illinois lines up 16th. That is your starting grid for the D main. Just waiting on our producer to tell me how many will make it out of the D main into the into the C main. We're going to take the top 4. Alex, you got 16 guys racing for 4 spots in this one. Chase Hardy does not make the grid, it appears, so he will park the UMP Modified again, having some technical issues. You hate to hear about that when these guys struggle to deal with the internet being the problem. Rather than running out of talent or any of the other usual racing struggles.
Oh,
just like trading paints tonight. It seems like there's adventures all over the place. So we'll be Steven Turbeville, Clayton Wise, your front row in this one, Alex. We should be in for a good show. I'm going to let you call a few laps of this one. I'm going to go grab myself something to drink. I'll be back in just a moment.
Oh, that's fine. Clayton Wise, Steven Turbeville. Tyler LaPointe is starting in that 4th spot as he is in that final transfer spot, as he's got a lot of heavy hitters right behind him there, especially someone like Hayden Cardwell, who's starting in a D main. Really surprising seeing him in a D main, but we're going green flag racing here. Clayton Wise, Steven Turbeville, as oh man, we're getting contact already, and we got ourselves a pile up. There's about 6 cars involved as the caution is out. As that was just a mess. We're going to look at the Ultimate Dirt TV instant replay here. And this was just on the initial start as, man, we're almost 3 wide. Contact, more contact, and, well, cars going airborne and everything else in between. And, man, yes, Zach Newton just missed a heck of a start there. Now he's going to come back and wonder why half the cars got damaged. Well, the only good thing is caution laps do count, so we're not going to sit here and mess around tonight in these consolation races. As Clayton Wise, Darren Literal now in second, Osborne and Easler are your top 4. Cole Patrick is in that 5th spot, as you see Tyler LaPointe, who started 4th, back to 11th now. Cardwell back to 12th. Turbeville back to 15th. So, tough break for those guys who were in good position, as that was just a mess.
Well, Brightside doesn't look like I missed all that much.
No, you missed about 6-7 cars wrecking.
Well, par for the course. It's a D main at Lernerville.
It was the front stretch on the initial start.
Well, beggars can't be choosers. They'll happen all over the place here in the course of this one. Saw it earlier as we are, I believe, single file for this restart. It's Darren Literal in the lead in the 68 for HRE Motorsports. Jesse Osborne, Ben Easler, Cole Patrick, currently your 4 transferring drivers to the back of the C main. Still a long way to go for these guys, even if they do get out of this D main, Alex.
Oh yes, we saw it in the first race, as we're green now. Literal going to take us to the green flag here, as we'll be almost halfway to go after those caution laps. But we saw it the first race with Bryson Banks. Bryson Banks and Yeager were in the D main, and they went all the way to the B. But then it was just too little, too late. The Cinderella stories were over. So it's just long. It's a long night if you get through all them.
Absolutely. A lot of racing, a lot of stress. Lernerville's not an easy place to work around, at least until both lines start to come in as the top and bottom slick off. It gets single line dominant until they both really slick over, and then once they're both kind of slicked over, you can run really either one to varying levels of success. Literal way out in front over Osborne. He has checked out and he's halfway to onto the plane. He's so far checked out of the hotel here in this D main. He looks very fast. He's got a chance, I think, to make the charge all the way through. Hayden Cardwell's up to 6, but he's still got a couple people to get around, including Bobby Mattingly in the 3M, and we are under yellow once again, and that's not going to help Cardwell's cause. Just waiting on one of our trademark UDTV instant replays. There it is. If you'd like to sponsor these replays, get in touch with Brett Wheeler. We've got all kinds of people beating and banging back there. I know that's not Evan C. Don't let that fool you. We're having some trading paints issues here tonight, and that looked a little bit problematic, and it turns into a big mess there in turn number 4. Who's ever driving that car number 42 there? Bailey, he maybe headed to Big Red Trailer to talk to Stephen Will, our race directors, after that one. That looked a little bit malicious, Alex.
He came in hot. He came in very hot.
No other way to describe that one. Had a little pepper on it. It's still Literal leading. We're going to go green-white checker in this one. Osborne, Easler, and Patrick holding on those 4 spots. Alex, do you think Cardwell can get there?
I mean, he restarted there on that last restart. He restarted 12th. So there's a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance. All right, then. So it is Literal leading as we hopefully get the lights on the pace truck turned out this time by. So it's Literal, Osborne, Patrick, and Easler. Cardwell up to 5th. Not sure what happened there. It's going to make Cardwell's life. There we go. It's just issues, just fun with iRacing timing and scoring. Cardwell still scored in 6th. Bobby Mattingly 5th. Cole, Patrick, Easler, Osborne, Literal, the rest of your top 5 on the way up. Literal has looked strong. Cardwell has come from the rear. We'll see if he can make it happen. Green-white checker. Green's in the air. They'll get the white flag next time by. Cardwell probably going to hustle the high side as he is known for in this one. It's still Literal out in front. Osborne and Easler battle just a little bit down the back straightaway. Mattingly holds on to 4th. Patrick going to battle. Oh, we got somebody coming in hard. We've got a whole lot of bumping and grinding in turn 4. Cardwell now back to 7th, Alex. The white flag in the air.
And now it doesn't matter what happens there, as you see Mattingly going over top, but that white flag drops. There's no more cautions in this one, as Literal is going to take, oh my goodness gracious, I don't know who that was, but that was a mess. And Hayden Cardwell is going to make a transfer spot as of right now.
Well, Cardwell got to third, but he may have contributed to Mattingly going over the bank. All kinds of shenanigans there. I don't know if we can get an instant replay of what happened on the last lap. It's going to be hard to determine anyway with our issues with, I believe that's Cardwell there that you're looking at in the 42. Again, that is not his normal vehicle, and the server rolled over on us, unfortunately. So no full instant replay to see. Oh, we do have it. All right. Neat. So that's how he came home in third. But he drove in deep. He gets doored there by somebody. That turns into a whole debacle. And then he manages to limp it home in third place. You can't take it away from him. He's in the C main. But the turn 1 and 2, I think he may have contributed to Mattingly going over the berm there. Unfortunately, we didn't have that replay. But we're stuck here. Be interesting to see though how race control handles all this. Definitely some very physical driving again here tonight, Alex. And we're going to throw it a commercial break. We'll be back in just a couple minutes with your C main from Lernerville Speedway. It's Zach Newton and Alex Robinson on Ultimate Dirt TV. We are back at Lernerville. The C main already in progress, just past halfway. Dylan Thomas leads Donnie Batiste and Steven Calavona. Now, these are not their typical iRacing paint schemes. Trading Paints is giving us some issues, but the numbers will match to the leaderboard, so that definitely helps a little bit, Alex. But it's Dylan Thomas out in front of this one with 5 to go.
And the one thing, as caution is out already. We're back into action, and the caution is out.
Hey, you know, beggars can't be choosers, but we bring you back. You've got a caution. We can reset the field for you. It's Dylan Thomas, Donnie Batiste, Cardwell, Calavoda, and literal your top 5. Top 4, I believe, will transfer to the B main. So currently Currently, Calavoda in the catbird seat there holding on to fourth. But this restart is not going to help him because Literal, who I believe won your D main, has already made his way up to fifth and is going to be all over Calavoda for that transfer spot.
Hey, you're missing one thing. Hayden Cardwell finished third in that D main, and look where he is.
Well, Cardwell might have sorted something out as the track has started to slick off, and he has charged up to third. I was getting there. I can't cover all the storylines at once, Alex. Dylan Thomas, your leader. Donnie Batiste going to try to hold off Hayden Cardwell. Calavoda going to try to hold off Literal. We should be back underway. Going to be a green-white checkered finish, I believe, in this one, unless the pace truck has pulled off. All right, pace truck's still on, so we will go green-white checkered in this one. Going to be a spicy meatball here to wrap up your C main. We apologize for the technical difficulties we've experienced tonight. Again, however, at least you can the number matches the scoring pylon, so you can it's easier to keep up with where your favorite driver is on the track right now. Dylan Thomas to the inside. We go double file for the restart. Calavoda in third, Cardwell in third, Calavoda in fourth. Literal currently on the outside looking in along with Tom Dawson. There we go. Trading Paints is almost with us. Thomas fires way late into turn 4 compared to some of the other restarts we've seen. Give him a distinct advantage. Cardwell to the bottom. That's not where we're used to seeing him going. Literal going to try to push past Calavoda. They are locked together down the back straightaway. Cardwell looks to the inside of Batiste as we come to the white flag.
Cardwell looked like he almost jumped the start there. White flag is out. There was a melee back at the back, but guess what? It don't matter with the white flag out. There's a battle. The 27, I think it was Calavoda maybe, getting in with Literal there as those two are battling out. But Dylan Thomas, Hayden Cardwell side by side at the finish line. It's going to be Thomas taking home the C main win. Cardwell, Batiste, and Calavoda are your unofficial 4 that are transferring on to tonight's B main.
Cardwell got tight there off of turn 4, going to come up just a little bit short of a run into victory lane here in the C main, but he is still going to make the big show. We're going to have to go to official timing and scoring here as the server rolls over to see where we land. It is Thomas, Cardwell, Batiste, and Calavoda going to come home in fourth. Literal going to finish fifth on the outside looking in. There was some contact off of turn 2 between those two. Definitely something race control. We're gonna more fun for BJ and Steve is what that's going to be as we get ready to line up our B main, our final consolation event. I believe the top 2 will transfer. The top 2, and it is Jace Lean on the pole, Jennifer Hantz in the 11 from $1 Million Motorsports stays outside.
Starting third will be $1 Million Motorsports James Grace, and outside of him will be Dalton DeRosia.
It's going to be Hunter Parsons lining up in fifth. In row number 3, outside of him, it's Brennan Weeks in the 22 for the Mid-South Dirt Slingers.
Starting 7th will be the 12 of Riley Emig, and outside of him will be Jaden Wolf.
Clay Debin in the 84 for D1RT lines up 9th. Michael Blessing in the big 1 from Nebraska, going to line up in 10th.
11th will be Jeffrey Line in the 240, and outside of him will be John Ruby Jr.
Lining up in 13th starting spot is Ryder Cantillo in the 97. Outside of him, it's Dylan D. Thomas, the winner of your C main.
Starting 15th will be Hayden Cardwell in the 07. Outside of him will be Donnie Batiste, and rounding out the field will be Stephen Calavoda.
17 cars racing for 2 spots in this B main. I expect nothing but the finest order of chaos available to you on Sunday nights. Only at the World of Thunder Esports League on Ultimate Dirt TV against Zach Newton, Alex Robinson, Brett Wheeler in the production truck. We're high above Starver, Pennsylvania's Lernerville Speedway, the home of tonight's World of Thunder Esports League Super Sunday action presented by Mimi's Makings in Motion. Of course, the Super Late Models coming up in just a little bit. I'll be back with you for those. And then the Open Pro Lates will be tonight immediately following close to immediately following the conclusion of the Super Late Models as we get ready. Again, Trading Paints has been nothing but trouble for us this evening, and we get this race underway. Line going to get a great start down the inside of the front straightaway. Hans is going to tuck in behind him. Behind her, it's Dalton DeRosia. Again, top 2 transfer to the A main. 17 cars trying to fit into 2 spots. This is going to get messy.
There's the yellow. It was messy there in turn 1 and 2 on that first lap. As I think maybe 4 cars as we're going to look here on the Ultimate Dirt TV instant replay.
You see Brendan Weeks, I think, is the the source of the trouble we find ourselves in. Oh, big mess there. And you see Weeks go over. The Weeks is not the origin of it. Again, without trading paints, I can't tell you. It's the 28 car there, lined up in third. You're going to see him. We're going to go hard to the inside here, and then cut up the racetrack. Not real sure what happens here as they get into turn one. It looks like he maybe got into the quarter panel of Hans down the front straightaway. James Grace, normally in the 269, overcorrects, goes up the racetrack, and then makes contact with the 55 machine. He slides up the racetrack. That's where Weeks gets pointed in the wrong direction, and he goes over the berm. But it is James Grace, I think, got into Hans and started the chain reaction that leads us to the first caution of this B main.
Yeah, and that mayhem began really quickly there, as that was just the start of the B main. So it's going to be fun. Cardwell already up to 9th now, as he's looking to go from that D main to the C main to a B main to the A main, as he's already up into that 9th spot.
Yeah, Cardwell moving forward. Again, we do have trading paints issues, so that is not Stephen Calavoda in second. That is Jennifer Hans, normally in the 11 machine. Jace Line, your leader, currently out in front. Hans, DeRoja, Emig, Line, Jeffrey Line, your top 5. But again, you've got to be in the top 2 spots if you want to make the A main as the pace truck. Going to roll over the hill there. We're going to get ready to get this back to green again. We apologize for the trading paints issues we're having. Does make the action a little harder to follow. We'll do our best to keep you connected. It is Jace Line in the 31 out in front. Hans in second down the front straightaway. They weren't going to turn one off the restart. Line is out in front. Hans gets a pretty good run down the back straightaway, but you can't quite close the gap just yet. Good run into 3. Starts to eat away at it just a little bit, but she pushes up the racetrack and is going to lose some ground to Line as we begin to work lap number 6.
And Jennifer Hans looking to make the feature for the second time tonight here at Lernerville, as after this early season, she's had tough break after tough break, and now she is in that second spot, still looking to make this feature, running that midline. You see that midline still tacky. Look at middle pack here with John Ruby Jr., Clay Devon, Hayden Cardwell, Ryder Cantillo. It is all the heavy hitters here at once as they're going at it. Oh, man. Hit the nose, are all going to stay straight. Some more beating and banging. Oh, this one, they're not staying straight.
Well,
as that's going to be Clay Devon.
As soon as you said they're all going to stay straight, all hell broke loose down the front straightaway. Give the advantage still to Jace Line out in front. Jennifer Hans holding on to the runner-up spot, but Hayden Cardwell is coming. He's up to 4th place, and he's got to get in, again, the top 2 transfer. That's Cardwell in what looks like the Stephen Calavoda wrap you saw in our C main, but that is not Calavoda. That is Hayden Cardwell. He's looking for 3rd spot to the outside of Dalton DeRoja off of turn 4. Give 3rd to Cardwell. He's got the high line hooked up. The high side hustler, Hayden Cardwell. He's looking very comfortable up there on the berm, but we've seen it bite him before. We saw him bite him on the last lap of a World of Thunder race last season. He flirts with disaster in turn 3, drives down the racetrack in 4. Just 3 to go. We work lap number 11 in this one. It's still Line leading Hans, but Cardwell is coming.
As Jennifer Hans, that's not going to be good. As Cardwell's going to take that 2nd spot. Hans going to have to try and get past Cardwell, or at least catch up to Line, and just let Cardwell go around and then pass Line. And that might be the best bet, because Cardwell's running that high side to perfection. Going to go to the bottom here. Going to throw a haymaker of a slider. Hopefully it sticks. It's going to stick, but Line's going to go try and duck underneath it, but ain't going to get there. Popsicle sticks in the air. Cardwell still in front of this Line, holding on to that final transfer spot. Jennifer Hans trying to catch up as the white flag will be in the air this time. Here we go. White flag is out. Cardwell still up front. Line in 2nd. Cardwell going to go into 1 and 2 here. Run that high side again. And if I'm him, he just doesn't have to make a mistake.
Well, it's all Hayden Cardwell right now. It's his race to lose, and I don't think he's going to. He drops about a lane low, kind of into the slick in 3 and 4, but he's so far out in front he doesn't have to worry about it. Tough for Jennifer Hans, who goes over the berm with no help down the back straightaway and falls out of that 2nd transfer spot. Jace Line holds on to it. They're going to the big show. Drivers are going to run the track in and warm up for just a couple minutes. We're going to take another quick commercial break. It's Ultimate Dirt TV coverage of the Grace Productions UMP Modifieds on Ultimate Dirt TV. We're back at Don Martin's Lernerville Speedway in Sarver, Pennsylvania. You see the A-Main lineup pulling onto the field, and it is Evan C. for Victory Lane Racing. On the pole, and outside of him in the 127 machine, it's Blake Majulis out of Asheville, New York.
Inside of row number 2 will be Adam Hommerding, and outside of him will be Jacob Fields.
Hagen Sorensen going to line up in 5th inside of row number 3. Outside of him, it's Dustin Hall in the 331. That's your 6 heat race winners.
Dustin Sizemore will start 7th. Zach Rounds will start 8th.
Richie Yost and Bryson Banks make up row number 5.
Dixon Slinger will start 11th. CJ Howe will start 12th.
13th starting spot is Jordan Gage in the 35 for Mid-South. Third slingers outside of him, it's Pennsylvania's Logan Rumsey.
15th will be Austin Hunter. 16th will be Bryson Daffron.
Preston Rigsby in the 195 going to line up 17th. Outside of him, it's Cade Loudy in the 126.
Hayden Cardwell and Jason Line will round out your field. Who are you picking?
I know that Brett is taking Majulis. I'm going to take Evan C.
I'm taking Jacob Fields.
That's a spicy meatball. I like it. Trading Paints finally back with us in this one. We are underway. Green flag is out here at Lernerville in the Race Productions. UMP Modifieds, they drag down the front straightaway. It's Evan C. leading Blake Majulis. They're both going to run the high side. Majulis gets a little bit of nose to the inside of Evan C. Jacob Fields just gets demolished. Alex, I'm sorry to say that that happened in a hurry for you. Caution does not wave. Evan C. continues to lead. Cardwell on the move. He's already up to 12th. He's going to be at the front before too long. Does he have time with only a 30-lap race?
Evan C. Blake Majulis looking strong up on that top side now. Adam Hommerding up in that 3rd spot. Hagen Sorensen, Dixon Slinger, that 4th and 5th spot. The 2 young guns trying to catch up to the veterans here. And the newcomer of Adam Hommerding. So we got everything in those top 5 between the young bucks, the veterans, and the newcomer. So, man, we got everything in this feature event.
Hagen Sorensen, definitely a young buck, but not a newcomer. He's a former World of Thunder Pro Late Models champion, and he can absolutely get it done as we get our first caution flag of the A-Main here at Lernerville. Jason Line going to bring out the yellow flag. There you see him getting turned around in that number 24 machine, and he's going to go to the tail of the longest line. We saw Jacob Fields go over the berm on lap number 1. He is still on track, but he is back and he is way back there. Excuse me, got a little choked up. I believe he's in 18th and 19th. You'll see the iRacing timing and scoring roll itself around. He is still on track. Look for him if that race car is not too damaged. There's no suspension issues from going over the berm like he did.
I'm taking a provisional. I'm taking Dustin Sizemore as my provisional tonight now.
Well, I'll give you Sizemore. I think we can do that. Brett, can we do that? Brett says no. So Alex does not get Sizemore provisionally. There is a dog licking my face. My wife brought the dog in here because he got real concerned. Heard me have a little coughing fit. Still getting over some sickness as the Kentucky weather has been a real crapshoot. A lot like this modified racing action we've seen here tonight, Alex.
What do you mean? That's only the first caution.
That's the first caution of the A-Main. I think we've seen more than our fair share tonight as we're back underway. Evan C. gets a great restart right down there around the Turn 4 signpost here at Lernerville. Majulis going to go to the bottom through Turn 1 and 2. Hommerding going to go with him. Hommerding had a run down there, had to get hard on the brakes. That's going to open the door for Sorensen to the outside. Sorensen going to move into 3rd around the rim here at Lernerville. Majulis going to have to slide up and take his momentum away, but it's all Evan C. out in front, and he loves to see him tangle behind him.
Yeah, Evan C., Blake Majulis, those top 2. But now here we go. Hommerding, who went to the bottom, has lost some ground on the top 3 right now, as he keeps losing some spots back into 5th right now, and it looks like he might lose some more spots as Dustin Hall and Hayden Cardwell, who comes from the B main, who actually comes from the D main, and he's already up into that 7th spot.
Clock may be striking midnight for our Cinderella story. Adam Hommerding in this one. He is struggling, falling back a few spots. Evan C. still out in front. Blake Majulis holding on to 2nd. Hagen Sorensen in 3rd. Sorry about the cough drop in my mouth, folks. I'm doing the best I can.
as we're going to look here, as you see Sorensen in that third spot. Evan C. Majula still sitting 1 and 2. Both of them are trying to gain some ground in the points with a lot of the points leaders missing in action. You said Underwood Wilson missing in action. Jerry Flippo's been missing the past 2 weeks. I think he's been doing some real-life racing. Majulis is up in that 5th spot. Fields is in 4th right now, as those two in points are trying to gain some more round on those leaders and points, and especially with all three of them missing this week's race, we might have a new points leader.
Yeah, with Underwood out, Wilson out, and Jacob Fields currently riding in 19th, limping his way around Lernerville Speedway in that damaged race car. Definitely a change coming, but Evan C. and Blake Majulis, 2 names you almost get tired of saying if you call broadcast or if you do broadcasting on iRacing of the dirt oval varieties. Majulis throws a slider. He parks it on C's nose. This could get spicy here. Because Evan C. not going to let that stand.
Oh, yeah, now it's going to be one of those, when will it happen? Will it happen now, or will it happen on the white flag on lap 29 when they go and take it out here? But Evan C., Blake Majulis, now your new leader after that slider. Hagen Sorensen now gaining some ground on Evan C. after that contact. So now Sorensen might be a guy to keep your eye on, especially if C goes for a little redemption. But the caution is out.
Caution comes out. Yeah, Sorensen in the catbird seat if the two leaders tangle. And I don't know if Majulis intended to park it on Evan C.'s nose, but he absolutely did there off of turn 4. And that's what gives him the lead. You see a car over the bank there. We look at Bryson Banks in the 00 machine. And he's going to just push it over the berm, try to come back. No, it just comes to a stop. Does the right thing. It's unfortunate that it brings out a caution, but it's the trouble with iRacing. He brought it to a complete stop, technically, on the racing service. That's going to bring a caution out here on lap number 12. Blake Majulis now leading Evan C., Hagen Sorensen in 3rd. Slinger and Hayden Cardwell from the rear going to round out your top 5. So due to time constraints, there will be no post-race interviews. We will go straight into the Mimi's Makings in Motion super late model invitational series that'll come up immediately following the end of this one. Again, 18 laps to go. There will be no post-race interviews. We're going to go straight into our next broadcast. Me and Jerry Van Sickle of Boone Speedway fame will be bringing you the Mimi's Makings in Motion super late models in just a few minutes, immediately following the conclusion of this modified feature.
But now we're looking at it here. We're going to be 13 laps into this main event. If you're Evan C. and Blake Majulis and you're out comfortable and you just have to battle with each other, are you trying to make a move now, or are you trying to conserve some energy here and go for it later in the race?
Oh, if I'm Evan C., I'm going to wait. I'm absolutely going to wait. He may get a good... Depends on the kind of run you get as we get underway here in this one. The high side has been dominant. Majulis is going to get there. Evan C. going to follow suit behind him. Cardwell around the bottom. Hagen, Sorensen, and Slinger, all 4 drivers, single file around the rim here at Lernerville. Something's got to give. Somebody's going to make a mistake. Cardwell throws a slider. He's going to try to get up into 5th around Dustin Hall. Dustin Hall has come from pretty deep in the field as well, if memory serves, but it's Blake Majulis out in front currently. Evan C. biding his time. Excuse me, Dustin Hall started 6th. That's my mistake. I thought he had made a run through a little deeper. Slinger started, where was that, Brett? Slinger started 11th, so he actually did come from pretty deep in the field. Definitely done some great driving to pick his way up to 4th, but it's still Blake Majulis leading. Evan C. like a hunter crouched in waiting to strike here as we come to halfway, Alex.
And if you look, you said about Jacob Fields, who was in that incident earlier. He's moving up the field slowly but surely, as he's up to 15th right now. And I think I could see him moving up, maybe getting a top 10 tonight still.
He's got time to do it. He's just got to slowly work his way through the field to get involved in an early race accident. Goes over the bank. Cardwell runs the slider line. C runs a cut down line. They almost met in the middle. We've seen that happen a couple times in the past. Could be an unfortunate dealing for both of those drivers. Keep an eye on that if Cardwell gets a little closer to where C is. As C tries to work around Blake Majulis, he's going to run the cut down line, trying to find some moisture off of turn 2. He gets a good run, but doesn't quite close the gap into 3 and 4. You can see him looking for him. The caution comes out again. Some great driving from those two. We've got Jordan Gage and Cade Loudy involved in an altercation. There you see Gage is the focus of the replay. And he's going to get looped there. Cade Loudy gets involved. We've got a car. Oh, wow. Big wreck down the front straightaway. Car gets thrown around. That's Jordan Gage. Went for the ride of his life there in that number 13 entry. There you see Jacob Fields back there. He may gain a spot or two out of this deal. Well, no, it looked like he got involved. Just got caught up in this accident, unfortunately. As somebody came ripping through 3 and 4. I don't know who that was, but there was no way he was going to make that work.
Yeah, especially any smart driver, when you see something like that, even when you're trying to run the bottom here, you should be off the throttle a little bit more, but it looked like he was full hammer down just trying to get through.
Yeah, whoever came in that 7 machine had it stuck on sand and on a black slick Lernerville like you're seeing shape up here. Not going to work into turn 3.
And you know what?
That was Cade Loudy. He may be having a conversation with admins after this show is over because there was no way he was going to make that work, Alex. No way at all.
You know what? One thing I want to keep my eye on now? Look who's right behind Evan C., that 07 of Hayden Cardwell. You remember a few weeks back when those two went at it?
I do.
I want to see if any repercussions here or anything's swinging over from there. They had a few weeks off, but now you got 3 heavy hitters there, and then you got Baby Barry just hanging back and going to go for a ride with these 3.
Yeah, Baby Barry going to slide his hand under the bull rope and try to hold on and hold off Hayden Cardwell and Dixon Slinger back there. And Cardwell may already have him as he works to the high side. Majulis runs the slider line through 3 and 4. Evan C. cuts down. We might have a battle for the lead here. C. has bowed his time, and now as we work lap 20, it's going to be C on the bottom. Does he get the run off of turn 2? He does. It's a dead heat. But here comes Cardwell throwing a big slider, trying to get a 2-for-1 special in turn 4 at Lernerville.
He got the slider. He cleared them both, but he couldn't stick it as those two both duck under him. And now C is going to take a slider, cautiously checks up there so he doesn't hit Cardwell. Cardwell going to take over that second spot. Majula is still out in front here, but now Cardwell in that second spot. Evan C in third. Baby Barry in that 4th spot. Adam Hommerding back up into the top 5 now as he got a 3-way battle between him, Dixon Slinger, and Dustin Hall.
Well, the top 5 here for Hommerding is nothing to sneeze at, but holding off Slinger and Hall is not going to be an easy task for the next 8 or so laps as we work lap now 23 of 30. Again, 30 laps the distance. In this A main, it's Majulis out in front. Cardwell looking for something. Some kind of crack in the armor of Majulis, one of the best in the world, and you're looking at 3 of the best in the world battling now for the lead. Cardwell going to poke his nose into Majulis' business off of turn 4. Majulis holds on, but Evan C. sucks right up onto the hip pocket of Cardwell as they work, and Cardwell over the bank.
Oh, man, as there was that contact, as I was expecting something to give after those 3 were battling it out. But now, you said 3 of the best. I feel in a year or 2, you could say Hagen Sorensen might be in that company of best in the world, as he's come a long way, and man, what is he, like 13 or 14?
Yeah, we call him Baby Barry for a reason, folks. He's a young gun. He's already a World of Thunder season champion. Again, he won the Pro Lates a couple seasons ago, and now he is holding on to a podium spot here behind Majulis and Evan C. as we are on board with Evan C. inside the cockpit of this UMP Modified, and we're having some camera. There we go. Now we're on board. You can see he's all over Majulis' tail end, just hoping Majulis makes a mistake and goes over the berm. Or maybe if the opportunity strikes, he feeds him a little bit of nose as we are working lap 27 of 30.
Yeah, now you got Adam Hommerding up battling with Dixon Slinger there, as it's Slinger, him, and even Dustin Hall still battling it out for that 4th spot. But look at this battle for the lead between Majulis and C. C looks like he's going to get ready to throw a haymaker as here it comes. Here's that haymaker. Is he going to stick it? He sticks it, but it looks like Majulis who's going to get that lead position, but the caution is out.
Well, you can go ahead and, if you're writing with a pencil, maybe put Majulis down in the winners column as we go to a restart here. Green-white checker and Blake Majulis. Again, we talked about this a little bit earlier, a true magician on restarts here on iRacing. The green-white checkered as we go. It's Bryson Daffern you see over the hill there. He just takes it back into the pits, or tries to. Does his best, but misses just a little bit. And there's a car. There's Bryson Daffern facing the wrong way off of turn 2. He and the 195 make a lot of contact, and that's not the way you want the race car to be pointing, Alex.
Oh no, and it's kind of terrifying too when you got about 4 cars coming straight at you.
So that is the Ultimate Dirt TV instant replay. Again, Blake Majulis, a real problem on restarts, has been, I think, for the better part of his career. And Evan C. is now going to be trying to chase down the 127 machine at an even greater disadvantage here. But if you're Barry Sorensen, you're probably happy, because if those two get tangled up, C and Majulis, you're right where you want to be as we get ready to go back to green. Are the pace truck lights out? I cannot see off this view of Majulis.
Yeah, as we see Blake Majulis. I was really waiting, because if that caution would have waited and they would have crossed that start-finish line, the white flag's out, there's no caution. Then it would have been the fun thing to see if Evan C. would have threw a haymaker to try and win that there. But now we got to go green-white checkered here. Majulis going to take us back to green here, going to go to inside where the grip is so he don't spin the tire. And here we go, green-white checkered racing. Majulis going to block the slider line. C going to run the top side and try and gain some ground. Majulis going to go back up top. Oh, man, C is right there. Here we go. White flag is going to be out. We have C and Majulis going nose to tail. Here we go into turn 1 and 2.
It's Blake Majulis leading Evan C. C right on Majulis' hip, looking for some kind of racing room. Does he throw the big slider? He does not. It looks like C is content for that runner-up spot. He's going to try the cut-down line off of 4, but he's not going to get there. It is Blake Majulis of Asheville, New York, unofficially your winner. Evan C. second. Sorensen, Hommerding, and Slinger, unofficially your top 5. We go to our official results as soon as the server rolls over here. In just a second, it is Blake Majulis, your winner, over Evan C., Sorensen, Hommerding, and Slinger. Again, officially your top 5.
Here we go. Dustin Hall in 6th. Hayden Cardwell drops back up to 7th. Then Austin Hunter, Preston Rigsby, and Jacob Fields coming home in 10th.
11th is C.J. Howell, Dustin Sizemore, 12th, Bryson Daffern, Jordan Gage, and Cade Loudy, your top 15.
Zach Rounds, Jace Line, Logan Rumsey, Bryson Banks, Richie Yost. Are your top 20? Is that the end of the field? Is that rounding out the field?
That's everybody that will round us out. Your Grace Productions UMP Modifieds. Again, Blake Majulis, your winner. It's the World of Thunder Esports League on Ultimate Dirt TV. Folks, we'll be right back with you as Jerry Van Sickle and I bring you the Mimi's Makings in Motion Super Late Model Series. Alex, it's been a pleasure working with you as always.
Yep, and I can't wait to see you next week in Knoxville.
Absolutely. For Alex Robinson, I'm Zach Newton. Have a good one. We'll see you back here in just a couple minutes for super late model racing action with the World of Thunder on Ultimate Dirt TV.